Hi students, welcome back. See, already I mentioned the types of redox reactions, right? Redox combination reaction, redox decomposition reaction, redox displacement reactions, that also metal displacement, non-metal displacement reaction, etc. Now, see another criteria for the classification. Whether the reduction and oxidation takes place in the same container or the same vessel or in a different, then we call it as direct redox reaction and the indirect redox reactions. Take this example here. Take a beaker. In that you take copper sulfate aqueous solution, and to this you introduce the zinc rod. Already mentioned, when the zinc and the copper is present, zinc has a tendency for oxidation. Copper sulfate undergoes ionization to give Cu2 plus SO4 2 minus, because copper sulfate aqueous is an electrolyte. Now, zinc is giving the electron and the copper 2 plus need the electrons over there. So Cu2 plus take up that electrons and is converted into copper. Means over to this zinc rod there will be a deposition of copper will be there. So in this the oxidation and the reduction is taking place in the same container, same vessel. So it's a direct redox reaction. Direct redox reaction. Say here, I take a zinc rod and keep in it zinc sulfate aqueous solution. In another beaker, I take copper rod and keep it in copper sulfate solution, CuSO4 aqueous solution. Remember, when the zinc rod is kept in a zinc sulfate solution and what I do is I will connect this together by a copper wire. I will connect the zinc and the copper rod to a copper wire. Having a voltmeter or a bulb here, and I will connect them each other internally using a salt bridge also. A glass tube, inside that salt solution will be there, like potassium nitrate, agar. Agar is a colloidal solution which we are going to study second. So this is filled with this agar solution and we call it as salt bridge. Now you see, zinc is undergoing the oxidation to give zinc 2 plus 2 electron. Here, copper sulfate use copper 2 plus and the sulfate 2 minus, and the copper 2 plus take up this electron given by the zinc which comes through this copper wire. Zinc 2 plus ion will go to the solution whereas electron left ion will move through the copper ion and stay away this to give carbon solvents. And what's happening here? Oxidation is taking place in this vessel, whereas reduction is taking place in another vessel. It is called as indirect redox reaction. And remember, when the copper and the zinc connected like this with the voltmeter and the salt bridge, we call it as galvanic cell. And when the copper and the zinc rods are there, it is called as Daniell cell also. And if this connection is done, I am going to get a EMF of 1.1 volt also. And this type of cells are called as electrochemical cells. Galvanic cell, Daniell cell, they are the electrochemical cell. This year only studied in the S-block element, Kastner-Kerner cell or Solvay's electrolysis, etc. These cells are electrolytic cells. So what is the difference between this electrolytic and the electrochemical cells? See, in the electrolytic cell, we are passing the current, and because of that, certain chemical changes occurs. Whereas in the Daniell cell, galvanic cell, which is an electrochemical cell, we are getting the current due to certain changes occurring in the chemicals, which are redox nature. So, entirely different concept of the electrolytic and the electrochemicals. And remember, whether it is an electrolytic cell or an electrochemical cell, always oxidation takes place at the anode, and your zinc is under oxidation, means this is anode, and reduction takes place at cathode, so this is cathode because there is a reduction process here. This here, oxidation at anode, reduction at the cathode. And only difference is that in the electrolytic cell, anode is positive, but it is an electrochemical cell, so your anode is negative because of this accumulation of electron, and the cathode is positive in the electrochemical cell. In the electrolytic cell, what I want to know, which attract the anion is anode, and you know anion is negative charge. To attract the negative charge ion, there should be a positive electron. So anode is positive in case of electrolytic cell, like Nelson cell, Kastner-Kerner cell. And the cathode, which attract the cation. Cation are electron deficient species. Na plus. You have studied carbocation. Electron deficient carbon is there, then it is a cation. CH3 plus. If the CH3 minus is there, it is anion. CH3 dot is there, it is free radical. So like that only, electron deficient is the carbocation. When electron deficient, the metal electrode should be negative. If the metal electrode is positive, attraction will not be there. There will be a repulsion. So opposite charge electrode should be there. So cathode is negative there. I will take a zinc rod and keep it in zinc sulfate aqueous solution, which I can write it as zinc 2 plus aqueous also. No need to write complete form also, I can write zinc 2 plus aqueous also. See, when the zinc is kept in the zinc sulfate, what happens? Zinc starts giving zinc 2 plus 2 electron. because of this zinc will go to the solution as zinc 2 plus ion, leaving the electron on the rod. So the rod becomes negative. See, the rod is now rich with electron. And in the solution, there will be zinc 2 plus ion. 2 plus ion is a minus. So, what happened there? This 2 plus ion, zinc 2 plus ion get attracted. Zinc 2 plus ion get attracted. Zinc 2 plus ion get attracted. Zinc 2 plus attracted like this. So, because of this, there is an electrical double layer will be formed. Negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive, negative, positive. Like this, electrical double layer will be formed. When the electrical double layer is formed, potential develop, and the developed potential is known as electrode potential also. Potential developed when a metal is in contact with its own solution, that is called as electrode potential. And if I measure this electrode potential at the standard condition of 298 Kelvin temperature, 101.325 kilopascal pressure, if it is a gas is there, such a standard condition, if we measure, it is called as standard electrode potential also. And one more point to remember. According to the IUPAC terms, whatever the electrode potential are represented with reduction potential, and we call them as SRP. See, according to the IUPAC system, any electrode potential should be mentioned using reduction potential. So, it is called as standard reduction potential also, and we call it as SRP also. Full form SRP. See, by knowing the SRP value, I can say which is the stronger reducing agent, which is the weaker reducing. Uses of knowing SRP values. First one is we can predict which is stronger oxidizing and reducing agent. See, SRP value lesser and lesser means it is a stronger and stronger reducing agent. Note down, lower the SRP value, stronger the reducing agent. So, just here, SRP value of zinc and magnesium are minus 0.76 volt and minus 2.36 volt, which is the better reducing agent. Just here, minus 2.36 is the lesser value than this, therefore magnesium is the better reducing agent. So, by knowing the SRP value, I can predict which is the better reducing agent. See, by knowing SRP value, we can predict whether given metal displaces another metal from its solution. Just see, SRP value of zinc is minus 0.76 volt. SRP value of copper is plus 0.34 volt. See, among the two, which has the lower SRP always has the tendency for the oxidation, and when they are having the tendency for the oxidation to the more extent, they are readily giving the electrons. They are readily giving the electrons for reduction of other substances. Therefore, they become the better reducing agents. So, here among the zinc and copper, zinc is having the lower SRP value. So, zinc solid gives zinc 2 plus 2 electron. And what I'm doing here, I'm seeing whether, what I'm doing here, I want to know whether the zinc displaces copper sulfate. What I should know now, I want to know whether the zinc displaces copper from copper sulfate. This reaction is possible or not. That I have to see. So, copper sulfate is an electrolyte, gives copper 2 plus sulfate 2 minus ion. And remember here, zinc is already giving electron. This electron is taken by the copper to be converted into copper. Cu2 plus is converted over there. Now see this reaction. Copper plus zinc sulfate. Can it give copper sulfate and the zinc? Which is not possible. Why? Zinc sulfate is an electrolyte. It can give zinc 2 plus and the sulfate 2 minus ion. But when the copper and the zinc together, copper will not have this tendency. They have Cu2 plus 2 electron, giving Cu tendency is more. Reduction tendency is more for the copper. So, as copper is not in a position to give the electron, zinc 2 plus formed here cannot take the electron. So, this reaction cannot happen. So, when the two metals are present, lower SRP value metal can displace another metal from its solution. And again, when the zinc is treated with the magnesium sulfate, again don't say zinc sulfate plus magnesium. Magnesium is having a still lower SRP value than the zinc of minus 2.36. That time, if the zinc is added to the magnesium sulfate, no reaction takes place. Because when the zinc and the magnesium are together, magnesium is having the tendency for the oxidation, zinc has the tendency for the reduction. Means that time zinc needs the electron, so it cannot provide the electron to the magnesium 2 plus ion formed from the magnesium sulfate. So lower SRP value can displace metal from its solution. So question can be like this: among this, which reaction is feasible? So for that you should know that SRP values, which you are going to study in the second PUC again in the electrochemistry chapter. Time being, just remember this much: lower SRP value can displace metal from its solution. Now next, we can predict whether a given metal displaces hydrogen from dilute acid. See here, zinc is treated with sulfuric acid, copper is treated with sulfuric acid, both are dilute acids. Which reaction is feasible, which is not feasible, or whether this zinc sulfate plus dihydrogen is correct, or copper sulfate plus dihydrogen is correct, or both are correct, that can be predicted. See, SRP value of zinc is minus 0.76 volt. SRP value of hydrogen is 0 volt. SRP value of copper is plus 0.34 volt. See, any metal which has the lower SRP than the hydrogen can displace hydrogen from dilute acid. See, SRP value of magnesium is minus 2.36 volt. This can displace. Aluminium, it is minus 1.66 volt, can displace. Whereas SRP value of silver is plus 0.80 volt. This cannot displace. This cannot displace. Means this reaction cannot occur, whereas this reaction cannot occur. So by knowing the SRP value, we can predict whether the given metal displaces hydrogen from dilute acid or not. Now, how to explain that it is displacing hydrogen? Sulfuric acid is an electrolyte which gives 2H plus SO4 2- by ionization. What is electrolyte? The substances which conduct electricity in the molten or aqueous solution, that is called the electrolyte. This conduction is due to the ions. Now, zinc has a tendency to give zinc 2 plus 2 electron because they are undergoing oxidation. So you see 2H plus needs 2 electron and it can get from this to get to hydrogen gas get liberated. See? And side product will be, the other product will be zinc sulfate. Now dilute sulfuric acid only gives 2H plus SO4 2-. But copper does not have this tendency when it is present with hydrogen. Hydrogen SRP value 0, copper SRP value is positive 0.34 volt, higher than the hydrogen. So that time copper have this tendency which is called as reduction tendency. So as the copper has the reduction tendency, it cannot provide the electron to the H plus form. This tendency is not there. So 2H plus will not get any electron, so H2 will not be formed. No electrons. No electrons. Electrons are not there. So I cannot get the H2. Fourth. See, by knowing the SRP value, I can predict which is undergoing oxidation, which is undergoing reduction. We can predict which metal is undergoing oxidation, which metal undergoes reduction under contact. You see, lower SRP value metal oxidation takes place, higher SRP value metal reduction takes place when they are in contact with each other. Just here, magnesium SRP value is minus 2.36 volts. Aluminium SRP value is minus 1.66 volt. Which is undergoing oxidation, which is undergoing reduction. SRP value of the magnesium is lower, so magnesium is undergoing oxidation to give Mg2 plus 2 electron. Oxidation. Aluminium Al3 plus 3 electron gives Al. Oxidation will be happening for magnesium, but the reduction will take place for the aluminium over there. Lower SRP value oxidation, higher SRP value reduction. See, when the more than one ions are present, which will move to the cathode, that can be predicted by knowing the SRP value. SRP value of lithium is minus 3.05 volt. SRP value of magnesium is minus 2.36 volt. If magnesium 2 plus ion and the lithium plus ions are present, and if I introduce an electrode here, see, lithium can move to this, magnesium also can move to this because cathode is negative. But remember here, if the lithium is moving and attacking here, absorb here you see, then Mg2 plus cannot attack because positive repulsion. So which will move to the cathode can be predicted by this. When the two positive charge ions are present, two cations are present, you see, then definitely the ion with higher SRP value will attack this, lower will remain in the solution. When the two cations are present, you say 3 cations are present, 4 cations are present, then definitely the cation which have the highest SRP will move first towards the cathode. So in this, higher value is there for magnesium, so magnesium goes here and undergoes the reduction. Magnesium 2 plus 2 electron gives the magnesium, while the lithium plus ion will remain in the solution. And you may ask whether the lithium plus also come under lithium. For the lithium to be present over there, I should have the something which gives the electron to the lithium plus ion. You see, lithium plus electron, then only can be the lithium. but nothing is active with the electrons. When the lithium and the magnesium is present, magnesium to plus 2 electron will be there to give magnesium, because lithium will give Li plus electron. This will be taken by the magnesium. I will continue next class. Till then, bye bye.